Do you feel the vibes?
Hi guys, welcome back. So the last time what we do checking the removing the pistons and checking the cylinder block. There was a big scratch on cylinder number 2, so the decision was made for us. We have to bore and hone the cylinders, and we're gonna buy new pistons. And today what we're gonna try to do is take a closer look on the cylinder head and see what is the conditions of the valve seats, valve guides, valves, and basically the whole assembly. But before all of that, let me just clean the workbench, and I also have to reinforce that small homemade engine stand. The legs are kind of wobbly, so it needs a little bit reinforcing. So basically that's the plan for today. Let's get to work.
Close my eyes and a calm descends on me. Take me with you. We soar to infinity. We're going at the speed of light. Bring me higher. You lift my feet up from the ground. I wish upon a shooting star that you make me lighter. And now you hit my heart with the speed.
Okay guys, so the cylinder head is secured to the bench. It's gonna be easier to work on it, on those 4. We're gonna flip it around to remove the other 4 valves. And how this works, we're gonna have to use this tool. Is ancient, but it's basically like overhead valve spring compressor. I had to put like a small spacer over here because the size of this one, it's a little bit too big and doesn't fit the seat. And we're gonna need a small magnet to remove the half moon shape retainers. They are basically kind of stuck inside over here. So you have to compress the spring. I believe in that particular engine we have 2 springs, and then with the magnet through that small opening inside the tool, you can just stick the magnet inside, and those retainers supposed to come out. We will see how it's gonna go. Pretty good idea. It's to do some, I mean, those containers are perfect for those kind of jobs, because you can keep up the track of all the hardware or where it's gonna go. You can also use just Ziploc bags. And for the valves, I did just like a small box with hose, but that way I can, you know, if I'm gonna work on those valves, clean those valves or whatever, I'm not gonna lose a track which one goes where. Okay, let's try the first one. So this part over here, the bottom part, is gonna go underneath, and it's gonna be supported by the valve. We just have to open this thing. Let's see how this thing is gonna work. Just make sure that it's supported on the bottom, like really nicely in the middle of the valve, so you're not gonna damage the head or let's see. There we go, it's just released. You can even feel it when it's releasing. I'm gonna try to show you. Maybe this is enough already. So like you see on this one, let me just put some light on it. The clip is already released, and let's see if the magnet is gonna already sometimes you just have to compress it even a little bit more. No, it needs a little bit more. You see, one of the clips is already all the way on the side. Let's see if the magnet is gonna pick it up right now. There we go. That's just one piece. The other piece, it's a little bit more stubborn, so let me just try to use both hands. There we go. That's the second retainer. And this is the intake side. Now you just have to slowly release it. Sorry guys, the battery in GoPro died. So now we can remove the springs. And push the valve down and remove the valve. The valve doesn't look bad. There was some carbon buildup, but no, I don't see any pitting on the edge. There was a groove a little bit, but we will see after cleaning. And using a simple box, so we know that we're not going to lose the track. Which one is which one goes where. Okay, so it's basically 7 or more to go. Okay guys, so like you see, all of the valves are removed. We have those over there, and like you see, all of the seals, they were leaking oil just a little bit. This one is the worst one. There is a lot of carbon buildup on in the combustion chambers. One of the things that we're gonna check it out today, it's also the diameter of the stem of the valve. And but before that, you can also very simple test. This is not a proper way of doing it, but it's gonna at least tell you the condition of the valve, guys. When you're installing the valve, you can just basically wobble it side to side or up and down, and if you're feeling noticeable, you know, movement, it means that something is worn out. It could be the valve stem, but most often is the valve guide. Those are made from brass, so they warning out much quicker. And let's see, the service manual is specifying the standard size of the inlet and exhaust valves, and also the service limit. So like you see, the service limit, if the diameter of the stem is below this value or this value for the exhaust, you have to order new valves. And also those values over here, they are in millimeters, they are metric, but the only micrometer I have for the small measurements is the inch micrometer, so I convert all of the values. So this is a fairly simple thing to do. You just have to set the valve, and somewhere in the middle you can just check the diameter. So this is the exhaust valve, and it's showing 274 and 1. No, 274 and 4. 274 and 4. So this is the exhaust, 274 and 4. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, it looks like 274 and 4. So here, like you see, the standard size is 274 4, between 2738 and 2744. So we are basically, you know, in the correct size. So those most likely we can reuse it. We will still clean those and check the lip and the angle, a couple more things before we're gonna send it to the machine shop, just to kind of, you know, figure out if we can reuse those. I believe yes, but on those particle heads I believe that the grinding of the valve seat and regrinding of the valve face, you cannot do it too much, because what is happening, the valve basically sits much deeper, and you can only grind, I believe, only 0.3 millimeters from the top of the basically from the length of the valve to get the proper clearance. If it's more than 0.3, I don't think so you're going to be able to find the proper shim, those shims underneath the is basically like you know, adjustment shims underneath. So that's basically it. So of course we're supposed to also check, you know, how straight are the valves stems, but this you need to have a special equipment, and you know, we can request that in the machine shop so they can check it out for us. But you know, the engine was running and it was not doing any, it was not making any weird noises. So I believe that, you know, our valves are still straight. I don't think so there is any worry about it, about those. So you know, when the valve guides are worn out, and you know, you can measure the diameter of the valve guide inside diameter of the valve guide, but you have to have a special tool for it, which I don't. One of the ways to do that measurements, I mean not measurements, just to kind of give you idea, is that wobble test. So if you do have a dial indicator, you can put the dial indicator basically, you know, against the stem of the valve, and just, you know, like make it movement up and down, and you can measure how much play you have. And if the valves are incorrect, if the stem of the valve is incorrect, you know, diameter is in, you know, like a correct diameter, and you have that wobble, you can even see it over here. It moves pretty bad, so you know, there is a plenty of play. So it means that those valve guides, we're gonna have to replace it. Machine shop, they can do it for us. I believe in this particle head, this is not too big of the deal. You can do it by yourself, but you have to have couple tools. You have to have a special tool from Kawasaki, that, you know, for pressing those in, and they saying that you can heat up the head up to 300 Fahrenheit, and new guides, you can put it in the freezer or on the dry ice, and those, they will you know, shrink a little bit. That would simplify pressing the new ones. But you know, if you're gonna put the head in the oven, you know, if the aluminum is gonna reach like 300 Fahrenheit, those gonna be very easy to remove it, press it out, and the same way you can press in the new ones from the other side. And I believe those comes with the clip with the edge on its side, so it's not, you cannot press it too deep. But it's also I believe when you're pressing those in, you have to have a special reaming tool for reaming the face, you know, the lower face of the guide to make the specific length. So it only depends. If you have access to those tools, you can do it by yourself. If you don't, machine shop, they most likely they're gonna be very happy to do it for you. So that pretty much this is it for today. And yeah, the next step is gonna be probably cleaning that head just a little bit, just to, you know, before we're gonna give it to machine shop, we can remove some of the grime, and you know, I believe that they had they putting in some kind of solution to dissolve it, but you know, carbon from the combustion chambers, we can clean it, we can make it a little bit easier for them. Of course, we're gonna remove those carburetor boots, we're gonna inspect them. I seen a couple cracks on them, like here for example, there was a couple cracks. I don't know those cracks going all the way in, but maybe we're gonna have to have also a new set of those. Those are fairly inexpensive online, so this is not a big deal. So yeah, okay, so this is it. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time.